Enlightened Base. What's left of it. Art, Doug Warner. Story, Kirk Twayman. It's kind of weird knowing that the end is looming. In this crazy world of frighteningly unimaginable events, this is absolutely insane. Blaze, the one who set up a supergroup called the Enlightened, is dead. Recently killed in the middle of his own base. Amazing, he's still burning even after his own death. Firefighters trying to put Blaze out with a water hose. Not going to happen.
Damn! The water evaporates before it can reach him.
I pull a cryo capsule out of my pocket. I then instruct the firefighters to stand back. They do so without question. I throw the device. It explodes. An area consisting of a 10-foot radius is instantly frozen. My name is Frank Plummer. I'm a watcher. As long as there has been supers, gods, demons, and other things that go bump in the night, there have been watchers. Shit! And as long as there have been watchers, there has been a super with fire energy. He or she has always drawn a line in the sand between other supers trying to take over humanity. Now Blaze is dead. I brought the spear back to my office for further studies. Odd. I see many levels of dark ice. They seem to resemble the rings of a tree. A ninja knife suddenly appears out of nowhere. You know, most people just say hello. You're too open. Do you know how many times I could have killed you over the years? I recall you trying. Remind me, how did that work out for you? I'm glad to see you two also. But I need to speak to Azuko. Go and play while we talk. You know I still haven't beaten Kerry's score in Pac-Man. It's happening again. Just like back in 55, but worse. They're killing anything that moves now. Yeah, I know. All the other Watchers have been killed, and tonight, they actually killed Blaze. Have they tried to get to you yet? There's always a super trying to get to me, but I protect myself. What about Patricia? Patricia? Trust me, they aren't ready for her. I can no longer give the same assurances. We barely survive with our lives. Do you remember why I named my son Frank after you? No matter what we threw at you, you survived. I canceled the contract on you because you were such a resourceful foe. That respect led to us becoming friends. Frank and Kerry cannot die this way. Is it the supers? No, another young group. I thought it was just inner city youth. The leader challenged us and I killed him. Then, that's the end of it. It wasn't. The pupil was relentless, and it wasn't long before he was able to locate our base. With a few men, he was able to wipe most of us out. I was lucky to escape. Maybe it's time to hang up the swords. No, I must face him alone. I secured a place with Orion for Kerry, since he's always over there learning the latest tech. Can your godson stay with you? Of course. He will be safe here until Patricia arrives. I have to go see Aura. We'll all have our parts to play. Good luck. Same to you, old friend. I also need to be going, but I think I'll use a more conventional form of travel. Not long after he exits the building, that it begins to rain. Just perfect. George Elder? What the hell is wrong with you people today? I know. This isn't my MO, but you had company, and there are too many eyes on you right now. Tell me about it. Probably best if you start driving. So, George, I'll ask you the same thing I asked the Zuko. Who's after you? I don't know exactly. I was thinking it was the twin powers of Impenetrable, but this is a parasitic creature. See? If you took your training seriously when you were going to become a Watcher, you would know all of them from a mile away. Really? Being a Watcher help all the rest of them? Last time I checked, you're the last one, Frank. And you already know what's coming. That's why I got here, as soon as I heard Blaze was killed. Well, don't worry about me. I can... It's not just about you, or me, or endangered species that are the Watchers. It's about all of us. Humanity. That's why I left, so I could become more effective. I'm working with the government to be something the Watchers could never be. Offensive. So we'll never be caught with our pants down again. I find the solo approach better. But what side will you target? Good or evil? See, my friend, Watchers never understood that the line between good and evil never existed. It's just them versus us. And finally, there are a lot more of us than can do something against them. I used to think that way, but that only breeds violence, and these super-powered motherfuckers thrive in that chaos. You hear me? They thrive in that shit. And in the end, everyone loses. I guess we will agree to disagree on our methods. Take care of yourself, old man. I plan to. He's on the move. It's interesting how fast they got everything together. When Blaze was killed earlier this evening.
Look, here's something you really don't see anymore. A Watcher.
Hold on, Watcher. You don't have access anymore. Orders from Aura himself. Really? Looks like your asses didn't waste any time. Blaze is dead, and his time is over. You have to move on. Like the other Watchers have moved on to death. Strength Supreme and Musul chuckled. Haha, sigh. Yeah, you two fuckers are funny. Blaze brought both of you idiots in, and you sit here and snicker when his killer is clearly in this building? We're appreciative, but things change, Frank. Now, are you gonna leave, or are we gonna have to hurt you? I'm not the rest of the Watchers. Hurting me is not going to be easy. Do you know what this is? That's right. Acetaminophen, aka Tylenol, bitch, in powdered form. You're a snail, and I'm the salt shaker to you both. And don't even get me started on your big ass, Strength Supreme. I just gotta cut one of your obvious veins, and your roid ass will be powerless. That's quite enough, Frank. I want peace. I'm not a killer, but don't push me. No need for violence. Not really the Watcher way. Yeah, that's never been my way. But let's focus on why I'm here. So Blaze died. Murdered. Yes. Still dead. And now I lead the Enlightened. I just crafted deals with all of our adversaries, so Watchers are no longer needed. Watcher, 'cause it's just you now. Worldwide peace is just a few hours. You know, you're quite clever, Aura. I take pride in that. This mistrust and old ways are over, Frank. It's better for supers to fall under one umbrella for the good of man. So what does a room full of supers, monsters, and aliens know about the good of man? Sounds like bullshit to me. I would choose your next words carefully, Frank Plummer. the last Watcher. I want to speak with you privately. Or should I tell them about Zoran? Back away from him. I said back up! Sure, Frank. This way. No matter how many of you Watchers I meet, you always end up surprising me. Yeah, you know a lot of them since you arrived on this planet. Actually, you're the reason we've even exist in the first place. Arrived on this planet? You really think you know everything? That you got all this shit figured out, don't you? Yep, pretty much. Please tell me if this shit sounds familiar. There was an invasion force that the Zoranians sent to our solar system thousands of Earth years ago that you guys never heard from again. Zoranians are like supers to us, so they came here and were treated as gods, demons, deities, etc. Fast forward 2,000 years, or so when your father sends you to finish off the invasion and to get the material he desperately needs. You're stopped at Mars by Flare. That's when you felt your weakness to fire. While the planet was pretty much destroyed from the aftermath of the invasion, she managed to blast you off of Mars along with taking out your fleet of warships. Flare's sacrifice of herself was for nothing. Because somehow, against all odds, you survive and become a shooting star in Earth's sky. And the generations of Zoranians, which have become of gods, demons, and monsters, knew you have arrived. Your first victims, whether intentional or not, was Atlantis. Then the collective source of knowledge on the planet. It would only be fitting that your introduction would be so devastating to humanity. Once you came to your senses, you wasted no time getting your former allies in order. Within just a few years, the former Zoranians have either pledged loyalty to you, or have been sent to that abyss through one of your weird-ass portals. Just when you thought all was won, a young hero faced you. I've come to kill you, Tyrant Aura! All you've come for, boy, is to die. Impressive! You can either use your firepower like a shield, but it won't hold me back forever. It won't have to. All I need to do is turn up the heat to, let's say, the surface of the sun. No! I must escape while I still can. Pyron defeated you. You had escaped into one of your portals just to survive. After the battle, an old man walked up to Pyron Flare. That man was the very first Watcher, and this is how the Watchers and the Fire Supers collaboration began. They knew that you would return and swore they would be ready. Wow, that was fascinating. With your delivery, I bet you practiced that. You know, this happens with you Watchers every time. I mean, you've put more together, but you go on a speech and end up getting killed. For all that you Watchers see, you all never see this coming. You Watchers and these fire-powered bastards have stopped my progress too long. I returned from what you call the Abyss and rebranded myself as a hero back in the medieval times. And yet, the alliance between Watchers and fire beings were strong, thousands of years later. Before they would get too close and figure out I was Aura from thousands of years ago, I would either kill them successfully, or if too strong, I would return to the Abyss. You're the last Watcher, and I'm going to enjoy killing you so I can do what is right for this world. You see, When I stripped humanity of their idols, I felt pity in the despair they felt. Compassion, something I have never felt in all the worlds I have conquered for my father. So, I wanted to protect humanity, but the Watchers never let go of what happened when I arrived. So, for the greater good, them and the only ones that could really stop me had to die. You have to die, Frank, and then under my rule, humanity will prosper. Ha 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 ha! What do you think?
If you haven't figured it out already, we don't just watch anymore.